movie now? Is it
Yeah.
my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
So-
I feel really kind of conflicted about this film in the sense that, like, when I was in the theater watching it, and I can deal with slow movies as long as they keep my interest. They have something. There Will Be Blood is an incredibly slow movie, which I love. Also Daniel Day-Lewis. This movie had way more comedy than I expected, like some
Very
pretty
true.
hearty laughs and some
Yeah.
great moments. It had tons of great performances all around by the cast. The story was interesting. I mean, you knew what was going to happen to a degree, but there were some surprises and like little details of his life you didn't know.
Yeah.
But the conflict comes in the fact that I will never watch this again. I will never have an urge to sit down and repeat this viewing experience. If I had to watch it again, I think I really wouldn't enjoy it. And I think that's a big factor when it comes into film. And I think it plays into a lot of Oscar films, especially that like real type of Oscar film, where there's ones that you will probably... I have never been at a party and been like, guys, let's throw on Crash. I'm in the mood for some
Well,
Crash. Like,
To be fair, Crash is extremely heavy and
no,
poverty material.
I know, and this is heavy too. So like, there was nothing in this movie that pissed me off. There's nothing that I could visibly see as a flaw, other than the way they handled the assassination. I didn't like that, but we
Yeah, I
can
didn't
get
like
on
that
that.
either.
But having said that, I'm never gonna see it again, and I have no urge to. It was just kind of a fun experience, and I think that sort of takes away from it that there was nothing
Yeah, like, man,
that
I
really
could watch it
hooked me.
again. Yeah.
But things to start on, things I like. Number one, obviously, if you're talking about a movie like this, it all hinges on Daniel Day-Lewis, and surprise, surprise, he did a fucking amazing job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean, it for me, it reaffirms the fact that he's the best actor that has ever been on screen. I think, you know, you look through all his roles, and he's a great actor, and he wins all these awards, and he's always praised for his roles. But I would say if you're ranking actors based on the quality of performance that they deliver every single time,
Yeah.
and the level that he brings to the table, he's the best actor that's ever acted.
I think that if you're going to say who's your favorite actor, that's a subjective list. If you're going to say who's the best actor, that list gets really narrow, and he's definitely running the nomination. I could hear arguments for other people.
There's arguments.
But having said that,
I think they're losing arguments.
he's always really good whenever he plays someone with facial hair.
Yeah.
It's his go-to.
Goatee.
Yeah. That was pretty crafty. But yeah, I loved his character. I loved it, like his body, his voice, everything about him was just captivating. Yeah, I know. But
Captivated by his body.
yes, the homoerotic undertones in these reviews has been been present from the get-go. And I fucking loved. Apparently, the key to winning an argument is that when people present points to you, you just spin them a yarn, and that will win you said argument, which was great because like the whole movie, people are constantly, you know, yelling at him, obviously, and talking about different things, and they'll be like, "You can't do this! It's killing hundreds of thousands of people! We gotta end this war now!" You know, I used to have a compass. The thing about compass is you use it to point north. And like you just go into this super speech, and you could even like that was one of my favorite parts is he goes into one of these, and it's like probably the third or fourth time he's done it, and one of the other characters is just like, "No, I'm not listening. I'm leaving. I can't do this."
Can't listen to one of your stories again.
Yeah.
But that was great. And
The Lincoln stories, he has a whole bunch, he goes off on these little stories. That was a highlight of the movie for me.
yeah, that was probably my
That's great.
favorite part. Every time he was about to tell a story, I was like, "Oh, let's settle in. This is
Yeah.
gonna be a good one."
Yeah.
It was kind of like that story. I'm only thinking of this because it's Daniel Day-Lewis, but like in Gangs of New York, when Bill the Butcher tells his amusing tale about like how he lost his eye and stuff,
Yeah.
and you get like 7 of those in this movie.
You do, and they're all hilarious and amazing. They're
Yeah.
just like just good storytelling, as well as they provide some comedy because you know it's like another one of crazy old Abe's stories. It's great.
We didn't talk about how they, you know, the bees they used to have nickels on bees, but I feel they could have added that one in there. It's my favorite
Yeah.
crazy old Abe story.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 bees to a quarter, they'd say.
I think what I learned more than anything is that 1800s insults were far better than the insults of today.
I feel like so dumb and like surrounded by such a lack of intelligence just in the way that people spoke, especially if you look at like politicians and political debates, like the comparison. These guys were masters of
Yeah.
insulting people.
Yes.
Tommy
were.
Lee Jones
He
was
had the
amazing.
best. I think he was my favorite part.
Tommy Lee Jones
he's
was
up there.
I mean, aside from the acting of Daniel Day-Lewis and the
Yes,
performances,
clearly.
Tommy Lee Jones stole the show. He stole the movie
yeah.
because the way he insults
Everyone.
these people and the way he speaks and the way he's
It's
just this
flawless.
crotchety old man.
Yeah.
But
he was so quick.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The way he just throws these lines at people and
And they just
they're
don't know how to react. They're just
yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just lets them have it.
1800 insults were far better than the insults of today.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of them now, which is
I know.
but they're all very long. Like they're very detailed. It's
Yeah, and they use
Of
words
time.
that you know, it's just not like fuck your mom. It's like
My go-to insult.
someone should do a modern version of those argument scenes.
Yeah, I think if
Put them
if
side
you
by
if you
side.
could throw those insults in today's conversation with people,
That should be your homework.
nobody would understand them except for you, which
Yeah.
is why it's so funny. I think that part Tommy Lee Jones was a highlight of the movie for me.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fair. There's also there was tons of television actors in this that all give really good performances as well.
The acting was so good.
Yeah, the acting was great. And so if you're a fan of Boardwalk Empire, you should go see Seven Psychopaths, and then you should go see this because that's good for both of them. If you're a fan of Mad Men, if you're a fan of Mad Men, you should
Flight
go
of the
see
Conchords.
this. If you're a fan of Flight of the Conchords and or Breaking Bad, you should go see this. Well, maybe I shouldn't say you should go see this. Some Flight of the Conchords fans goes just to see Doug.
Yeah, just to see Doug.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of good acting, you should go see this.
Yeah, I think it was like it's a movie that I would sum up as a movie fan's kind of movie. If you really enjoy like the things that make good movies, like acting and cinematography and costume design and set design and just overall performance, then it's a movie that you'll enjoy.
Yeah, it's like what you said. I don't think I'd go see it again, but I could really appreciate it while I was there because of everything, the lighting, like everything was just.
See, I think I would see it again because it's an inspiring story to me, and I enjoy the fact that it's part of I wouldn't watch it every weekend. It's not a movie that you're gonna watch, but if every so often I needed like a little bit of inspiration, or if you're in a situation where you're trying to fight for something or do something that's a little bit beyond what one man can typically do, I think it's a movie that could inspire you if you're fighting for a cause for whatever. I think it's a movie that I would find inspiring to know that
That's fair.
people have done that before you. It's not a movie that you're gonna watch when you want to have a really great time. It's just a movie that I would put it on if I was by myself and I was like feeling a little down or needed some inspiration or something.
That's fair.
I would watch it again.
Yeah, I feel like I to each their own. I wouldn't.
That's fair. I also really liked what they did when they